I want to tell you Rigathi Gachagua, ile mpango ambayo ulikuwa umepangia rais ilikuwa ni mbaya, because ulikuwa umepanga mapaya ya kuuza president. Umepanga mbaya mpaka ukapanga mawaziri, deputy president yako, mawaziri wote ambao niliweza kutaja juzi, ikiwemo huyu mwenye ameniandikia barua leo kwamba nataka nikukustaki kwa defamation. On what basis? Ambaye mulikuwa mumepanga kuhujumu serikali ya William Ruto. Wewe Rigathi Gachagua umetafuta watu wakale ili utumie ili wakale waone kwamba wakati wa mapinduzi umepindua serikali, imeonekana kwamba wewe unajali watu wakale. I want to tell Rigathi Gachagua, wale vijana wetu wote ambao ulichukua uweze kuweka katika ile mpango yako ambao ulikuwa naye kwa mapinduzi. That is why nilisema juzi ni wachumbe 4, senators 2, waziri 1. So I want to tell you today here, wacha kuongea maneno hama kukula mbele ati rais alikuwa na mpango ya kuniua wewe. Ati sumu nilipewa Nyeri nikawapewa Kisumu. Mulikula toasti na chai na president. Lakini mbona muko kama kungekuwa na sumu si wote mungaenda kwa ile chai mama alikuwa anatengeneza yenyewe. So wacha mambo ya kulia bwana Rigathi Gachagua. Mambo yako yamekamilika kwamba wewe you no longer deserve to be a deputy president. That is why parliament and the senate waka approve kwamba you doesn't deserve to be a deputy president of this republic. That is why uko nje sasa. Haka nikuambie leo hii, waache kulia kusema nilikuwa nimepangiwa kuuliwa. Hiyo ni uongo yako, hiyo that is crocodile tears ambao unataka kuficha siri ile mpango fiche ambao ulikuwa unataka kufanyia rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. So waache kulia, Wakenya ni werevu, wanajua sana. Unaona hata maswali mengi yameweza kuulizwa, mbona wakati ulipopata habari kwamba ulikuwa unataka kupewa sumu, why not raise alarm? Polisi wakakuita chana, DC hawakuita kwamba kuja utueleze ni nani alikuwa anataka kukupatia sumu ndio tuweze kuchukulia hatua. Ukakataa kwenda kwa DCI kwa sababu ya wrong advisors wako ambao walikuwa wanaendelea kukupanga uweze kuhujumu serikali ya William Ruto. So I want to tell you Rigathi Gachagua, yale maneno ambao ulisema kuhusu mambo ya sumu, wewe ndio mwenye ulikuwa unataka kupea president sumu ndio uweze kuchukua serikali. Ulikuwa na mpango kwa sababu gani? Si ulikuwa na mpango kwa sababu tayari ulikuwa umepanga baraza la mawaziri, ulikuwa umepanga speaker senate, ulikuwa umepanga deputy wako.
We don't have a functioning IEBC today as we speak right now. And why? Because the matter is in court. Remember, they were supposed to put in a panel that is supposed to elect or go through the selection panel of IEBC commissioners. So, assuming anything were to happen, God forbid, to the president today, and you don't have a deputy president, then the country is taken into the third arm, which is parliament, the speaker of the National Assembly, who within 60 days is supposed to call an election without an IEBC. That is a pure, straight constitutional crisis, and it becomes a straight political crisis. I think we still remember 2007, the post-election violence, and the kind of situation we are trying to put Kenyans. And that is what we are trying to avoid as a country. And even as parliamentarians.
How would that have been that, though?
Because we need to have a president, a deputy in place, so that we now can be able to finalize this process, which we are waiting for the courts, on the IEBC. If we had a stable situation where we have IEBC in place, we have everything in place, there was no need for a hurry. Okay. But for now, because of the situation we are in, and we are cognizant of that situation as a country and as parliamentarians, we then need to have a situation where there is no vacuum.
Deputy Chief Justice cannot assign duties to judges. Pray, my lords. What then does the Deputy Chief Justice deputize? What does she deputize? In many jurisdictions, like those referred to by the distinguished counsel on the other side, in many jurisdictions, including the United States, there is no office of Deputy Chief Justice. In the Supreme Court of the United States, there is the Chief Justice and Associate Justices. In Kenya, the drafters of our Constitution, and if I may say so myself with a bit of humility, I was one of the draftsmen, knowing that in other countries there was no office of Deputy Chief Justice, decided in Kenya there shall be an office of Chief Justice to deputize the Chief Justice. In doing what? I'll be very brief. That is to be found in the Constitution itself and in the statute. And I think I will leave my learned friend, Mr. Ngobo, to deal with that.
Kwa hivyo hii sio kesi ya Rigathi wa Gachagua. Nimeona kwamba sasa hata wamesema mpaka makanisa ati watakuwa wanapeleka summons zao kwa chief ama DU ama OCS ati waangalie kama kwamba zinapiga serikali. Hii serikali tutaendelea kuipiga kabisa mpaka siku ya mwisho. Maana hii ni serikali ambayo haifai kuwa mamlakani. Serikali ambayo hayamini katiba, haiheshimu katiba, haifai.
They could have actually executed their idea of swearing in their designate on Mashujade, but thanks to the gods confused them and were given a leeway to go to court on Friday, and the deputy president and his people went to court, and they were given conservatory orders, some from Nairobi and some from Kerugoya. The Chief Justice, who is not in the country at this time, but the office, empaneled a 3-judge bench to listen to 6 cases. 6. And when the 3-judge, that is Justice Ogola, Mugambi, and Murima, were constituted, they were supposed to only hear the 6 cases. But in Kerugoya, another judge gave an order stopping Kindiki from assuming office. This was so express. But what happened? The 3-judge bench sat on Saturday. Tell me, our people, they have cases that have been in courts for years. But this one, the judges will find time to sit on a Saturday. And to do what? To listen or to hear a case that is coming from Kerugoya, which is not part of the 6 cases. And when the CJ forms a 3-judge bench, 5-judge bench, or 7-judge bench, when he forms that, he is supposed to give them directions. I allocate you this case. You cannot take any other case outside what you have been given. You have to wait for the communication again from the CJ to give you the case. So they sat on Saturday to hear a case from a court in Kerugoya, which they were not given an allocation to by the CJ. So I'm trying to tell you,
how do you know they are not given an allocation?
Because there is the petitioner from Kerugoya has written to the CJ. Because when that happens, whatever happens in court, the petitioner is informed and given all the documents, even the direction by the CJ to write to communicate to the judge bench. So they have written. I have the letter. I can show you. I have seen it. It is even in the newspapers today. So what I'm trying to tell you is that whoever is trying so hard. But I urge the judiciary, don't be part of this.
Muko na mambo. There is a very idle debate going on in Mount Kenya. Oh, Mount Kenya East, Mount Kenya West. And the people, when you walitumwa na Ruto, kwenda kuleta hii debate, or this divide, ukiwaangalia, they look like they are mourning. All of them. Look at these people. It's like they are mourning. In fact, the most vocal of all this, is hiding behind. That guy with ears, big ears, you all know who he is. He's hiding behind. Because they are so ashamed that wametumwa kukuja kuleta that nonsense in Mount Kenya when the country is at a standstill. Kenya nothing is happening. Now the Ruto's card ni kwenda kusema Kindiki will be the leader of Mount Kenya East so that he can divide Mount Kenya West and Mount Kenya East. What kind of nonsense is that? Who is Kindiki? In fact, for the first time tangu mimi nizaliwe during this regime, Kindiki akiwa interior minister, ndio nimesikia cattle rustling in Meru and people are dying in Meru because of cattle rustling. Huyo Kindiki akiwa hapo. Who is Kindiki in Kenyan politics? You guys are joking. You know Kindiki is being used like the way Dede Nyoro was used. 2023 there was no leader mwenye alikuwa juu at the end atarithi Ruto ndio atarithi Mount Kenya kama Dede Nyoro. MPs walikuwa wanatoka as far as Bomet kwenda Murang'a kusema 2027 tunataka Dede, tunataka. Where is Dede now? You people of Mount Kenya mnatumua kama tissue na Ruto. Where is Dede? He's nowhere to be seen. Amenyamaza kama maji ya mtungi. If you want to find him, go and Google in his Facebook. Ujue amesema nini of late. Amenyamaza because mnatumiwa. We had other people like Marara. Sijui Western tuepo SG wa UDA. Marara ndio kusema the next kingpin of Western. Where is Marara now? Si ametoka huko UDA kama umbwa. Amepigwa my friend. Ametoka kama umbwa. Alienda nyumbani akilia. Kenyans are being used by Ruto like tissues. Ruto does not think about anything else in this country. He only thinks about politics. Hizo 40 billion ameendea loan. Sasa ndio wape joto. Mwanze kuzunguka Mount Kenya East at we have a new leader called Kindiki. What will you achieve with that even if village has a kingpin? You people are stupid or something. I'm telling right now, because all of Mount Kenya people are in government, I assume. Because you are the one who voted this regime. You are in the government. Mumeshindia watu wa Nyanza nini? Mumeshindia watu wa Western nini? In fact, kama ni Kuria, sisi ndio tunaria zaidi Mount Kenya. Tumeharibiwa biashara, maushuru, barabara zetu, and you are in the government. You are shareholders. A bad regime is a bad regime. And anybody in Kenya kwisha should just go home. Ruto Gachagua nyumbani. Kindiki wote nyumbani. Wani how many Gen-Zs died? Watoto wa watu wamekufa. Watu walikuwa enda ku-identify watoto wao kwa mochari. Who was the minister? Who is the minister? Is it not Kindiki? Who is that guy ni kutumua tu shoot? What are you telling people, my friend? Ati Kindiki now is... My friend, in fact, that thing is dead on arrival. Assuming even it was to happen, it cannot happen without a guy called Munya. And Munya cannot go into that madness. That is for a fact. Ama mnataka ukweli ingine gani? Is that not the truth? Nonsense.